Hello, welcome to the second episode of the Coffee County Ag Podcast. My name is John McLemore, the Agricultural and Natural Resource Extension Agent in Coffee County for the University of Georgia Extension. Today, we will interview with Dr. Mark Abney, the University of Georgia Extension peanut entomologist in Tifton, Georgia. He will be talking to us today about key pests to be scouting for inside of peanuts as we are in the midpoint of the growing season and moving forward to the end of the growing season inside of Georgia peanuts.
My name is Mark Abney. I'm the peanut entomologist at the University of Georgia. John asked me to speak with you a little bit today about some of the issues we need to be looking at in peanuts in terms of insect management in mid-season and going toward the end of the season. And there's a handful of things that we really need to be paying attention to as we approach the end of July and enter into August. And the first thing I'm going to say is that there's no more important thing to do in terms of insect management than to scout. If you're not scouting your peanuts, you really don't know what's going on in the peanut field. And it's really easy to make mistakes when we don't know for sure what's going on. So I think the most critical thing you can do is scout. The second thing that I want to remind folks to do is to make smart decisions when it comes to selecting insecticides and making insecticide applications. A lot of Georgia's been dry, and when we have dry weather, that tends to be conducive to a couple of our most important pests of peanuts, and that's lesser cornstalk borer and two-spotted spider mite. And we've been seeing spider mites in cotton since June, and that's almost always a red flag that indicates that we're going to have spider mite issues in peanuts later in the growing season. And there is no greater or more important thing you can do to prevent spider mites in your peanuts than to avoid putting a pyrethroid insecticide on non-irrigated acres. We usually don't have spider mite problems under irrigation, but if you spray a pyrethroid on non-irrigated peanuts and there's a lot of mites in the system and it's hot and dry, you greatly increase your risk of spider mites in that situation. We've got lesser cornstalk borers in July, and I expect unless it starts raining a lot, we're going to have some lesser cornstalk borer problems. We need to scout for them. If we find them, we need to treat. We can use a couple of different foliar insecticides that work really well. You can talk with John, look in your handbook for those recommendations. If we do get spider mites, we need to catch them early. We need to find them and we need to treat them. We don't want to let spider mites get away from us. We do have a good registered miticide now for use in peanuts, and John can help you out with that. Another thing we're going to see is caterpillars in peanuts. Last year we had a lot of velvet bean caterpillars. We had a lot of velvet bean caterpillars that got missed, and a lot of peanuts got defoliated. We don't need to spray caterpillars if they're not at threshold, but we don't need to ignore them either. If we get large populations of soybean looper or velvet bean caterpillar, we're going to need to make an application, and we're going to have to make good decisions about what products we use so that we can take care of those caterpillars without flaring spider mite. Another thing growers are probably seeing in the field right now is three-cornered alfalfa hopper. My recommendation on them is if you see a lot of three-cornered alfalfa hopper in irrigated peanuts and you're going to spray a fungicide anyway, go ahead and put a pyrethroid in the tank and take those three-cornered alfalfa hoppers out of the system. But that is only in irrigated peanuts. When it's hot and dry, I do not recommend treating three-cornered alfalfa hopper in peanut. So there's a few things to be watching for as we go into August and on into September and finish out this 2020 peanut growing season. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of John, and if he needs to, he can certainly get a hold of me. Good luck, and I hope y'all all do really well this year.
I want to thank you for listening to today's podcast. I also want to thank Dr. Mark Abney for helping me with today's podcast and those who are listening to these podcasts. I hope these podcasts are very, very helpful. Please listen and share. And on your screen is my contact information. Please contact me if you have any questions or comments. And y'all have a great rest of the day. Thank you.